MSU alumnus Cole Cavalieri is a 2014 graduate of MSU's College of Engineering with a degree in civil engineering, and he was recently named as chief engineer for the Mackinac Bridge Authority. And Cole, it's great to welcome you to MSU Today.
Yeah, thank you, Russ. I appreciate you having me.
So just tell us a little bit about this cool new job. What will some of your main duties be? And you've been the assistant, I know, but tell us what the job entails.
Yeah, so first off, I just want to say I've been blown away by the response. You know, people have said a lot of kind words and encouragement, and I've really appreciated that. And I think it's really been a testament to how beloved the Mackinac Bridge is by all Michiganders, myself included. And, you know, before I began working with the Mackinac Bridge Authority, even as an engineer, I didn't know exactly what all went into maintaining, you know, a structure that size. And since I've joined the Mackinac Bridge Authority, you know, there's lots of dedicated men and women, you know, who keep it going day to day, whether it's in the toll booths or, you know, working underneath it. So as the engineer of the bridge, and both in my role as the assistant and now as I step into the chief engineer role, our job is really, you know, maintaining the Mackinac Bridge, and that's both through our in-house workers and contracts when we contract out bigger projects, and as well as, you know, doing inspections. And when you're driving across the bridge and you notice an empty truck on top, it's not empty. It usually means there's a group of guys and maybe an engineer like myself down below underneath, climbing along the steel of the bridge and looking at something and you know, making sure that that bridge stays in great condition. So I'm really honored to have the role and you know, join this esteemed group that maintains it.
And Cole, have you been all the way to the top, to one of the main areas, or?
Yeah, so I've
that must be quite a view.
Oh yeah, it's I never take it for granted. I've been up there, you know, quite a few times now, but it's always pretty incredible. I've been mostly everywhere now, you know, including up and down the cables. And you know, it's not for everybody, but the towers, you know, you come out, when you're inside the tower, it's almost like you're going through a submarine. You know, the steel work inside of it is really something. And then all of a sudden, when you come out through the top, it's like the whole world's around you, and it's really quite incredible. And you know, the Straits area is just a beautiful area, and there's no better view than on top of one of the towers overlooking it. So yeah, definitely the best job in the world. Yeah.
To back up a little bit, describe your career path a little bit from leaving MSU in 2014 to now. How did this come about that you ended up as chief engineer?
Yeah, so when I was at MSU, I studied civil engineering, and at Michigan State, you're kind of able to take 6 tracks, and I took the structures track. I always knew I was interested in structures, whether it be buildings or bridges. And right out of school, I actually accepted a job for a company I'd worked for in the summers that was in the UP that I enjoyed. It gave me some great experience. I got to travel all around the UP in Wisconsin to various construction sites, but I was doing more materials inspection and construction inspection type of work. And I really wanted to get back into that structures field. So shortly thereafter, I was able to take a job with a company called Hardesty & Hanover back down in the Lansing area, which brought me back downstate. And from there, you know, it went from, you know, not much structures to at Hardesty & Hanover's bridges all the time, specifically movable bridges. And from there, that's when I got into bridge design and bridge inspection. And the bridge inspection side got me traveling around again, looking at different bridges and you know, rating them for their condition. And I really enjoyed that job, but I'm the son of 2 teachers and was kind of always interested in the public sector and public service. So an opportunity arose with MDOT's bridge design unit down in Lansing, and it was just too hard to pass up to be able to, join MDOT and start that public service type of work. And from there, I meant to, be there for a little bit longer, but one of the bridges I got to inspect when I was doing bridge inspection was the International Bridge in Sault Ste. Marie. And through that work, I got to know the bridge engineer of the International Bridge, a guy named Carl Hansen. And he kind of reached out to me when the opening at the Mackinac Bridge became available. And, that was just too good to pass up. The bridge has always meant a lot to me, both as a Michigander and a Youper. So when that position was open, I threw my hat in the ring and have been here ever since. So very appreciative of all my experience. It's been, it's all helped me get to where I am now, and a lot of great people along the way.
And Cole, yeah, do you have some short and long-term goals as you get started as chief engineer?
Yeah, I do. The short-term goals are obviously a little easier because it's things that we've been working on since I've been here. We have a couple projects coming up that will help us get a longer, the bridge is in good condition, and, the designers, the original designers and builders, did a magnificent job. It's an incredible structure, and luckily, if it's not broke, don't fix it. So it's mostly a lot of rehab that we have planned in the near future to, just to keep it in as good a condition as it can be. And so both in-house and we have a couple of contracted projects coming up. There's a few things that we're working on just to, get the bridge from that fair condition back to good condition. So that's a little bit easier. Long term, like I said, it's an iconic structure. We have some bigger obstacles coming up down the road, including a full deck replacement that will eventually be happening. Just, nothing lasts forever, and that's true of, our infrastructure, and the bridge is 65. So in about 10 years, we'll be beginning that deck replacement project, and that's going to be, a big undertaking. And I'm happy to be involved, and luckily I have a lot of, help both in-house and outside, that when we do get to that point, we'll be building it, not only, fixing it up, but setting up for a long time for continued success. So.
And, Cole, you've been touching on it, but as you pursue some of those goals, are there any particular either challenges or opportunities, or both, that you see?
There are challenges. A big one right now is, I think around the world, a lot of people are finding it hard to, get employees. And right now, the Mackinac Bridge, we do keep that in-house maintenance staff, and we're just hitting that point where we're hitting kind of like a turnover where we're seeing a lot of retirements, and it's important to try to get some more people and get that transfer of knowledge to a new generation to kind of pick up the wrench and carry the maintenance into the next generation here as we maintain this bridge. We are seeing different things on the bridge, such as the ice on the bridge. I'm sure you've heard of that we have to shut down. It does seem like that's happening, more often in the last few years, whether that's we're seeing more freezing rain rather than, the snow coming and sticking around longer. And these are challenges that they're overcomable, but as we keep moving forward, it's going to take a lot of, thinking outside the box, and maybe we might have to make some changes both in-house and, on the structure to try to prevent these problems from getting out of hand or getting worse. So.
Yeah, I'm talking with Cole Cavalieri on MSU Today. He's the chief engineer for the Mackinac Bridge Authority, and he's a MSU alumnus. And so take me back, Cole, why did you choose MSU for college?
Michigan State, growing up in Iron Mountain, the proud hometown of Tom Izzo, as a sign says when you're entering town. Michigan State has a big presence both in Iron Mountain, but kind of beyond that. I come from a big Michigan State family. My grandfather went to Michigan State College back in the 1940s, early 50s on the GI Bill. And funnily enough, he used to tell me stories about taking the ferry down to go to school back then. before the bridge. I had three siblings also go to MSU, so it was a pretty easy choice. We bleed green in the Cavalieri household, so it's a choice I'm really happy I made. It's far away from home for me, but MSU was really helpful to me, both as a student and as a person, kind of putting me out of that comfort zone and going downstate. So
yeah, and tell me a little bit more about how then the MSU experience impacted you and really prepared you for where you are and where you're going.
Michigan State, the biggest thing, like I said, was kind of opened up the world for me as a small town. UPER, my first class at MSU was actually in a lecture hall with more students than my high school had. So that was different. And just, the diversity at MSU and the people, and also the coursework, of course, was beneficial. It made you, work in teams, and it was a good learning experience when I did transition into the workforce, and, just getting to know lots of great people through MSU. It's really a good starting point when I began my career.
Yeah. And Cole, what would your advice be for the Spartans in the College of Engineering today? There's obviously, like you said, a lot of different fields to study, but what would your general advice be?
Two big things. First thing would be, try to get real life experience, whether it's in the summer or while you're attending class. Because that's, you learn it in the classroom, but when you get out and do it and see these things in real life and get your hands on them, on a construction site, or, doesn't really matter what discipline you are, but that real life experience and getting to talk to people who do it every day, I think really would set you up for what to expect in the workforce. And the other one would be something I didn't follow myself at the time, but was just try to get to know your professors a little better, go to office hours. I didn't do it enough. And I've had professors since I've graduated, years down the road, that I've been able to reach out to and ask a question on, and they've been happy to help. And I really regret not developing a better relationship with them. So, they're there to help you, and getting to know them, will just set you up for the future. So
yeah,
those would probably be my two big advice points.
Well, yeah, Cole, it's been great getting to know you a bit. Just summarize what's ahead for the bridge as you get started in this position. What do you want us fellow Michiganders to know about this structure we all revere so much?
The bridge, it speaks for itself as far as, the icon it is for Michigan. And I think in a lot of ways, Michigan didn't become whole until, November 1st, 1957, when the Mackinac Bridge opened. And, I take that responsibility and, that role very seriously as I approach this job. And, to me, it's very important to not only, maintain this structure, but to keep going for a long time, because it really is invaluable to Michiganders and the world as a whole. The Mackinac Bridge has been an important bridge in the history of civil engineering. And I'll hear it from engineers around the world as we do different studies and things here at the bridge. It's really revered. And, I'm looking forward to working with the other members of the Mackinac Bridge Authority. And, a lot of technology and different things are changing. And, I'm looking forward to working with everyone to kind of bring the Mackinac Bridge into that next generation. So, looking forward to it.
Well, Cole, it's thank you so much for talking with me today, and congratulations on the position.
Yeah, well, thank you very much. And, it's great meeting you, and really appreciate you having me on, Russ.
And go green, Cole.
Yeah, go white.
That's Cole Cavalieri. He's the brand new chief engineer for the Mackinac Bridge Authority. He's an MSU alumnus from the College of Engineering, class of 2014 in civil engineering. And I'm Russ White. This is MSU Today.